All right, you guys, so polynomial long division, I know we did this in class, but for those of you who missed it or want a walkthrough, I'm taking this longer polynomial f of x, and I am dividing it by g of x, which is x minus 2. I wonder if I can make this bigger, make this white, and like x minus 2. Kind of do this. Sorry, you guys. Wait, cool. Okay, so I'm just going to do this so I can set it up without having to rewrite the whole thing. That'll be better for you and better for me. Okay, so we are going to divide this by... we're going to divide this... Well, it's just going to have to be how it is. By x minus 2, just like regular long division. All right, so I'm looking at how many times, or what do I need to multiply x by to be x to the fourth, and that's going to be x to the third. I'm going to pause and erase some other stuff here. All right, you guys, so I'm back. So I know if I multiply x minus 2 times x, cubed, that the first term I get will be x to the fourth, and that way when I subtract I can cancel that out. So x cubed, but I'm not only multiplying it by the x, I'm also multiplying it by negative 2. So what I get is, that I'm going to put underneath, is x to the fourth, and then minus 2x cubed. And then this is where a lot of people mix up their signs, right? I'm subtracting this, so x to the fourth minus, let me see if I can do this, x to the fourth minus x to the fourth cancels out, right? But then, what if I have negative 5x cubed minus negative 2x cubed? Well, that minus a negative becomes a positive, right? So I have negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3x cubed. And I think that's, if mistakes are made, that's where they're going to be made, is in that portion of what we're doing. Then I'm going to bring down positive 4x squared. And then I'm going to ask myself, how many times can x go into negative 3x cubed? And I need that negative 3, so it's going to be negative 3. And then x squared, right? Because I already have one x here. And then I'm going to come over here, and you don't have to do this part, you could do it in your head, but just to show you, now I have, negative 3x squared, that's the number on the top, and I'm multiplying it by x minus 2, the number on the outside, or the dividend, or the divisor, I think it's the divisor, and I'm going to distribute that, so I get negative 3x cubed, and then a negative times a negative is a positive 6x squared. And then I subtract. So when I'm subtracting the exact same thing, I have negative 3x cubed minus a negative, which is actually plus 3x cubed, but that cancels. Then I have 4x squared minus a positive 6x squared. That's just the same as saying 4 minus 6, and that gives me negative 2x squared. And then bring down the next term, negative 3x. So I need to multiply this only by, I need negative 2x squared, so I need to multiply that x by negative 2x. So I take what I just put on top, and I multiply it by x minus 2, and I distribute. And that gives me negative 2x squared plus a negative times a negative plus 4x. But remember, I'm subtracting this whole thing, so 2x squared minus 2x squared minus negative 2x squared cancels out, and then I have negative 3x minus a positive 4x gives me a negative, because I'm just basically taking negative 3 and subtracting 4, and that gives me negative 7x. And then I'm going to bring down positive 14, and I'm going to multiply by negative just 7. So if I come over here, that means I take negative 7, I have to multiply it by x minus 2, distribute, and I get negative 7x plus 14, And since they're both exactly the same, I have my answer with a remainder 0, right? So what that means is, if I take x minus 2 and I multiply it by my quotient, x cubed minus 3x squared minus 2x minus 7, that's going to be equal to my original dividend, which was x to the 4th minus 5x cubed plus 4x squared minus 3x plus 14. So I could keep doing this, and eventually I would have it completely factored, right? Next I would have to factor this. All right. Okay, so the remainder was 0. What does the remainder tell you about how g of x relates to f of x? If there's a remainder 0, that means g of x is a factor. Okay? F of 2 means that I just need to enter in a 2 into my original f of x, which was here. So I'm just going to open up the calculadora. And everywhere I see an x, I'm going to put in 2. Now, this is really important when you're entering things into the calculator. The exponent needs to go on the outside of the parentheses. So I have x to the 4th, now I have 2 to the 4th. Then minus 5 parenthesis 2 parenthesis cubed. See how that cubed is on the outside? And then plus 4x squared, so plus 4 2 squared minus 3 times 2 plus 14 minus 3 times 2 plus 14. So if f of 2, oops, what do I have here? No! 2 to the power, let's see, cubed, squared, I think I just have to delete these, minus 3, plus 14. So if I enter in 2, it's not, I did not do that correctly, did I? Where did I make my mistake? Enter 2 to the 4th power minus 5 times 2 cubed. Oh, I see what I did. Plus 4x squared. Look how much you're learning. The problem is I stopped pressing the button and it's going. Plus. Zero. So I have remainder 0, right? Well, and that makes sense because x minus 2 is a factor. So x of positive 2 equals 0 makes sense because it's one of the zeros. Describe 2 different ways you can find out if a number is a 0 of a polynomial. We can do what we just did, enter that number into the equation as your input and see what your output is. Or make it a factor and do the long division, right? So instead of it says f of 2, is that an answer? You could say, well, if f of 2 would mean the factor would be x minus 2, and then do the whole long division that we just did. All right, let's see if I can do this without running out of time. So where's my... So I'm looking at how many times can x go into x to the 4th. It's going to be x cubed. Now I'm going to multiply the x cubed by the x and by the 3, so I get x to the 4th plus 3x cubed. Now I'm going to subtract, cancel, cancel. 2 minus 3 is negative 1x cubed. Plus, bring that down, plus x squared. How many times can x go into negative x cubed? That's going to be negative x squared. So then I get negative x cubed minus 3x squared. But we're subtracting. So cancel, cancel, but I have positive 1 plus 3, which gives me 4x squared. Bring down the 5x. And I get 4x here, positive 4x, multiply 4x squared plus 12x. But remember, I'm subtracting both of those things. Cancel, cancel. 5 minus 12 is negative 7x. Bring down negative 17. And this will be negative 7. So I get negative 7x minus 21. Subtract. Cancel, cancel. Negative 17 plus 21 is going to be positive negative 17 plus 21, 4. Remainder 4. Is that what you guys got? Let me know if I messed up anywhere. And the way we're going to write a remainder is going to say this is our quotient plus 4 over x plus 3. All right, let's see. I did want to go over these. Nope, I'll do this on a separate video.